2 years. Yeah, so thanks for coming out. So I moved out here from Colorado a few years ago. Oh, come on, just one clap for Colorado.
Broncos.
That was sad. Colorado and Oregon have a lot in common. Yeah, they do. Recently passed legalized marijuana. Yeah. Evidently, we both have a lot of people who are into substance abuse. Yeah, it is the first Christmas that marijuana is legal in Oregon. Right? So I'm thinking that maybe Santa's going to have some special cookies this year waiting for him. Right? So like you can imagine Santa coming across the states, right? He gets to Colorado, right? And maybe he gets a mellow buzz coming over, right? But by the time he gets through Oregon and Washington, he's going to be lit up, right? And he's going to be like, 49 states is enough this year, right? Screw Texas, right? Teddy Cruz has been naughty this year. He's on the naughty list. The whole friggin' state is out, right? Sorry, kids from Texas. Yeah. So actually, I grew up in Colorado. Yeah. I was raised to be a Catholic girl. Yeah, no, really. My mother, right? By the time she was 23, she had my 3 sisters and me, right? Amazing, right? 5 years, 4 kids, right? Her body was not a temple; she was a Pope-mobile, right? I mean, she was a saint, yeah. And like the reason she raised me as a girl was like she was just so busy. Right? She didn't even know I had a penis till I was 8. Right? So she just did the hand-me-downs, right? From my sisters. And so it's like for 5 years she dressed me just like my sister. It was really bad at holiday times, right? Christmas and Easter, because she made us matching outfits. Yeah, and so when I was 6, I was at church and the boys were teasing me and I was like, Mom, I don't think these are boys' clothes, right? And she's like, capris are gender neutral, right? They're long shorts, and I'm like, no, Mom, it's not the capris, right? It's the tube top with the sequins. Yeah, no, but she did teach me how to dress, right? Coordinated, not matchy-matchy. Right? I don't want to go too far. Sometimes I kind of bend that rule, people who know me. Anyhow, she also taught me how to cuss like a Catholic girl, right? I mean, Catholic girls will know this, right? Like Catholic boys have potty mouth just like every other boy, but Catholic girls, right? Catholic boys are dirty. Catholic girls are nasty, right? So right, Catholic girls, they learn this special technique, and basically they have substitute swear words, right? And so the secret is the substitutions. You can't choose anything too crude, right? Like pee-pee and caca are a no-no. Right? So my mom, she figured out this perfect substitute curse word vocabulary. She used Hostess products. Right, you know the cupcakes? Right, Twinkies, ding-dongs, ho-hos, honey buns, mini muffins, right? Right, I mean, something was going on in the marketing department at Hostess, right? 50 Shades of Hostess, right? Seriously, right? So what you do, it's basic, and you can do this with anything. My mom used Hostess, right? But you start with 3 basic things, right? Substitute body parts, right? So boys have ding-dongs, girls have Twinkies, both have ho-hos. Right? Perfect. Right? You kind of have to test them out. Right? Stick it up your ho-ho, Kimmy. Right? That was my older sister. Right? She'd be like, you're such a little Twinkie sniffer, Joe. Right? Lick my ding-dong, Kimmy. Right, so that's the basic. You know you're on to something good when you can throw out some combos. Right? Go Twinkie dong yourself. Right, and then my mother's like, did you just tell your sister to Twinkie dong herself? All right, you go wash your mouth out with some milk. Really good, Joe, you're making progress. Yeah, it was really crazy growing up in my house, right? So I had my mother thing going on. I mean, really insane, because my father was schizophrenic. Yeah, it's uncomfortable to laugh at crazy people. It's okay. Yeah, right? Because my dad heard lots of voices, so I had lots of role models. Yeah, no, it was really good. And I always think about him at Christmas, right? Because he thought he was the Son of God. Yeah, not Jesus, right? Right? He thought he was the younger brother of Jesus, right? Not nearly as powerful, right? Like Jesus could turn water into wine. My dad could only turn water into Kool-Aid. Yeah, much less powerful. But even, you know, he taught me lessons though, right? He was like, you know, Joe, you're gonna mess up in life sometimes, and don't crucify yourself. Right, that was referring back to him being God. Never mind. Yeah, that was kind of sad. Anyhow, no, but even when he went totally bonkers, right? Like a schizophrenic, right, who hears voices, like everything gets mixed up, right? But they think it's real, right? But even then, you know, he taught me when things start falling apart, right? You just need to get away. Right? In fact, you need a little asylum. Right? So this was back in the days when they actually treated mentally ill people in hospitals, right? They didn't stick them under a bridge in Portland. Right? So what he was really doing, right? He'd go away to the state asylum. It was in Pueblo in Colorado. My mother would just say he was on a business trip. Right, which was really curious because he was a coal miner, like a traveling coal miner, right? Like, oh yeah, he's mining coal over on the other side of Colorado. So anyhow, he's gone. But what's really happening is he's getting treatment, which in the day was not great, right? It was electroshock therapy, right, followed by about 3 months of crafting. Right? So it's brain taser and decoupage classes. Right? I have no idea. The original shock and awe. Right? So anyhow, he's disappeared, but eventually he'd come back, which was really kind of like Christmas. You know, seriously, because he'd come back, and there was this vaguely familiar lumbersexual who was giving out presents, right? Totally like Christmas, right? Because you know, like some kids' dads, they'd go away on a vacation and they'd bring back little bars of soap from Motel 6. No, my dad, right? He'd bring back handmade pottery and Muppets, right? Because he was staying at Hotel Build-A-Bear, evidently. Yeah, totally crazy. Well, speaking of schizophrenia, I've been shopping for cars lately. How's that for a transition? Right? Or should I say transmission? Yeah, isn't that great? No, really, I have been shopping for a car, and so I did this thing, right? December to remember, there are so many cars on the market now that I'm like, instead of using, you know, the names that they use, I renamed them to remember how I felt when I was driving them, right? Which is totally cool. Like the first one I drove, right? It was this amazing, huge black SUV from Cadillac, right? I mean, the inside, plush leather, right? And it had those air-conditioned seats, you know? Had a sound system that gave me an eargasm. I mean, it was amazing. I call it the fuck global warming. right? 'Cause seriously, you know, if I'm gonna be all hot and sweaty for the next 30 years, man, I want one of those air-conditioned ass coolers. Seriously. Right? Actually, my kids guilted me not to looking at something like that. My daughter's in the audience. I want to embarrass her. Yeah. So my kids are both millennials, right? So they're like, the planet's going. Like I wanna. Yeah, right. Like we're gonna save the planet now. We're screwed. Anyhow, so I'm like, okay, I'll go and try a Toyota hybrid, one of the new ones that gets really good gas mileage. I tried this one, the Unique. Yeah, the Unique. So you get inside and there's this special cup holder, right? You're supposed to put your testicles inside it while you drive it. Yeah, because it charges it with testosterone, so you can walk away with a little courage, right? When you're finished driving it, right? Sorry, Prius owners. Yeah, not for me. So I thought, maybe I'll go for something a little fun for me. I mean, my kids are almost done with college. I've had my mother-in-law living with me for 10 years. I deserve something, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I go down to Chevy and I get a little 2-seater convertible, right? The midlife crisis, right? And I get inside and I'm like, I have no idea where to go, right? Kind of like my career. Yeah, but the dealer said, it comes with some special things if you take it right now, like you can get a 28-year-old girlfriend, right? Guaranteed 30,000-mile divorce, right? My wife wasn't too impressed. Anyhow, so I'm like, okay, I'll go for a compromise. Something that's sporty, gets better gas mileage. So I get one of those cars that everyone's driving around, right? The gluten-free Portlander from Subaru. Yeah, I saw some parked out there. Yeah, the only problem with that car, it only tuned to NPR. Yeah, anyhow, finally I asked my wife, I'm like, I've seen all these cars, what do you think I should get? A mistake. She's like, honey, I think you need something with a little more oomph in the engine, right? A little more power. Like our neighbor's big truck. I mean, he has a beautiful big truck. I'm like, I'm not sure what my wife is trying to tell me here, I've always been more into fun size power. Anyhow, so I'm like, okay, what the hell? Go down to Dodge and I tried the biggest, baddest ass truck I can find a 5.7 liter 2-ton Hemi, right? I have no idea what those numbers mean, but they were the biggest goddamn numbers I could find. Right? So I'm like, I'm gonna try that. Right? So I get in the cab and oh my God, it's amazing. Like, you're sitting up above the traffic, like all high and mighty looking down on everyone. And you park one of those things, you take up 3 parking spots, you don't even care. Right? And I'm sitting in the cab and I'm seeing, I can see how the right to life and capital punishment go together. Right? That kind of makes sense. And I'm like, holy cow, this is powerful. It's not a truck, it's a Donald Trump. Yeah, thank you very much.